If I'd been sitting in this chair 1,300 years ago and you'd tried to forcibly remove me from it, it could have resulted in your death. Find out why and where I am in just a moment. On today's search, we're trying to meet a challenging brief, balancing the equation of house and land. Now you're smiling.
I am surprised.
As our house hunt gathers momentum, it looks like we might have found them the perfect rural retreat.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm so happy to hear you say that. Today I'm in Northumberland and this is Hexham Abbey. Now for centuries, religious houses like this one have been safe havens for those in trouble. However, as always, money talks, so those seeking sanctuary could be forcibly removed if their captors were prepared to pay a hefty fine. But the chair that I was sitting in, known as the Frith stool, was the ultimate get out of jail card. Once you were sitting in it, if anyone tried to remove you, it was them who faced being excommunicated or even sentenced to death. I'll be finding out more about Hexham Abbey's fascinating history later in the programme. But now let's take a look at what else this area has to offer. Northumberland is England's northernmost county, bordering Scotland to the north and the English county of Cumbria to the west. The east of the county runs 39 miles along the spectacular North Sea coastline, from the river mouth at Berwick-upon-Tweed, past the seaside village of Sea Houses, to the sandy beaches at Amble and Druridge Bay, a popular stretch of beach with those looking to paddle or surf. Northumberland's position along the Scottish border put it at the heart of the border wars in the Middle Ages, and as such its landscape is scattered with medieval fortifications whose ruins still survive. The iconic Alnwick Castle, known as the Windsor of the North, has been home to the Dukes of Northumberland for 700 years. More recently, it's also become a popular film and television setting, featuring as Hogwarts in the first 2 Harry Potter films. One of England's most famous and historic attractions is the 1900-year-old Hadrian's Wall. The Roman frontier runs over 70 miles coast to coast, set against the backdrop of the country's dramatic, wild scenery. With more castles than any other English county, a varied and spoilt coastline, and over 400 square miles of national park, those choosing to move to this historic rural county will have no shortage of places to explore. One of the most appealing features of Northumberland is space. It may be the 6th largest county in England, but it's also one of the most sparsely populated. Now, as you know, space, particularly here in the UK, normally comes with a premium. But that's not the case in Northumberland, where the average cost of detached property is £253,000, a very welcome £73,000 below the national figure. So if you're after your very own field of dreams, this is a smart part of the country to be property searching in, which is part of the appeal for today's buyers. Dave and Liz have been married for 30 years. They met in 1984 through some mutual friends.
We first met when we went on a holiday camping in Italy, and we were both invited by different people, so we didn't know each other when we went, and it was really good fun. When we came back, Dave asked me out for pizza, and then another pizza, and I think by the 3rd pizza I said, shall we do something different? And after that we got to know each other. We got to know each other, and here we are 30 years on.
They've lived in their 4-bedroom property in Kenilworth, Warwickshire, whilst raising their 2 sons, Simon and Stephen, who are now in their 20s and have moved away. Having travelled a lot in the past, Dave and Liz are feeling inspired to make some changes.
We live our lives on fast forward, and the good things sometimes pass us by. We've travelled a lot in Africa, and the pace of life is slower there. They live very time-rich lives, so we'd like to have more of that ourselves, really.
So Dave took voluntary redundancy from his job as an aircraft braking engineer, and they decided to take the plunge, a move to the countryside, as well as the chance to fulfil a new business ambition.
We first sort of discussed the idea of glamping at least 5 years ago. I mentioned it to Liz, half expecting her to say, get back to work, you've got another 10 years in you, but she said no. We've had this idea for a long time, and now's a good time.
We decided that I would stop as well, just so that we could spend concentrated time to try and sell the house, find somewhere to live and move.
Liz's mother lives in Cumbria, so to be nearer to her, they've chosen the neighbouring county of Northumberland as the location for their next chapter.
Well, I think Northumberland for me is a sort of frontier kind of northern landscape. It's got Hadrian's Wall, Pennine Way, national parks. It's got a dark skies policy. It's somewhere where people can engage with the awe and wonder of, British countryside.
Although getting the business up and running will be the priority, they hope this move to the country will also give them more time to do the things they love.
We had an allotment until recently, but something we'd like to do, having a bit more space, is to grow veg. We both like walking.
And you like running.
Yeah, I like running.
Having the chance to go walking together, obviously Northumberland, lots of lovely places to visit. It is nice here in Warwickshire, but I think having a bit more wildness will be good.
We're focusing our search in Northumberland, but Liz and Dave have said they'd also be happy to cross the border into Cumbria, where Liz's mother lives. I'm meeting up with them just outside Hexham to discover the finer details of the move. Good morning.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome to Northumberland.
Thank you.
So what is it, though, about Northumberland that really appeals to the two of you? Because there are lots of places you could have chosen.
Yeah, well, it's kind of remote landscape, so slowing down is important to us.
Let's talk about the property. So tell me about the home that you imagine here.
Well, we'd like something with minimum 3 bedrooms because we have 2 sons who have left home, but we'd like them to come back and visit, obviously. Don't want to have nowhere for them. We'd like something that's, I think, reasonably light. We do quite like having people round, so sort of nice kitchen diner might be nice, or somewhere to entertain. That's something we like doing.
But you're sounding very flexible on the house. I guess the land is where perhaps the flexibility isn't as great. So let's talk about the glamping business.
Yeah, I think somewhere where people would feel excited to come on holiday. So the location's important, but also the landscape.
OK, and how much space do you think you're going to need?
Well, we'd like 2 to 5 acres. We want people to come there and feel that there's space for them to explore.
So are you prepared to do the work necessary to make a property right for the two of you?
Yes. Yeah, we're perfectly happy to adapt something to make it suitable for what we need, yeah.
So what's the budget then for the move, for the glamping business?
Right, 425 to 500,000, depending on how much work we need to do to the house before we get started.
We have some fantastic properties to show you. Shall we go?
Yeah. Great.
For their maximum budget of £500,000, Dave and Liz are looking for a property with a minimum of 3 bedrooms and plenty of space for entertaining. It seems the most important factor is the land. They need a minimum of 2 acres on which to build their glamping business, in a location with good access to local attractions. We've got some fabulous properties lined up for them to view, all brimming with business potential and in some wonderful scenic settings. But they won't know the price tag of each one until I reveal it at the end of the tour. Our last visit will be to our mystery house, a property they won't be expecting to see, but one that offers them everything they've asked for and more. I'm taking Dave and Liz just across the county border to the village of Armathwaite in Cumbria. The village sits alongside the River Eden, popular for its salmon fishing. 7 miles downstream, one of the UK's first railway viaducts, built in the 1830s, crosses the river near Wetherell. A leafy village just outside Carlisle, served by its historic railway station and a 4-star hotel and pub. Our property is 2 miles outside Armathwaite, in an idyllic setting in the Eden Valley. So the house I brought you to see is this very pretty lodge house. What do you think?
Is it a bungalow?
It's a more we feel all inside. It's kind of a bungalow with a bit of an upstairs bit as well.
All right, yeah, I wasn't
I
expecting
like
that.
the quirkiness of it, yes, yeah.
Bit different.
You're not so sure, are you?
I'm
You're
not so sure.
You're being ever
I'm
surprised.
thinking bungalow, you know, but it's not, like you say, it probably isn't a bungalow if it's got something in the roof, but a little bit different, I'm not sure. Need to see the rooms, really.
Why don't we move inside and then you can just see what's on offer with
Yeah,
this one.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
This former gatehouse lodge dates back to the early 1900s, but has benefited from some recent renovations, as well as a modern extension around 7 years ago, adding a sunroom, a bright dining area, and an entrance hall. Straight into the cosiest of cosiest living rooms.
Oh, this is nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice wood burning
I like
stove.
this. Yeah.
Got the lovely deep stone mullioned windows, got the beautiful feature beams, and it's got a lot of character in here.
Yeah.
Was this a front door here?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, behind the curtain there, hidden
Yeah.
away, is the old front door,
Yeah,
and that would have been a front porch.
Yeah.
And you could use that way, though. I think the current owners are just choosing to come in through that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
use whichever door you want to do, really.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's move back through. I'm keen to show you the rest of the house because it's got quite an interesting layout.
Right.
Great, okay.
So come on through to see the kitchen diner, which is a fantastic blend of old and new.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the extension that was added on about 7 years ago. And you've got the beautiful old original stone wall in there, and yet with this new tiled floor and this very light, airy, modern feel. And then again through here, a really lovely modern kitchen, granite worktops, but you've still got the character of the old wood in the beams and the fireplace that works as well.
Right. Well, that'd be nice in the winter, wouldn't it, in the
Yeah.
kitchen?
I think it's great.
Yeah, it
Great
is nice,
space,
actually.
this is, yeah.
It's nice. It's sort of not too modern, but not really old-fashioned either. So it's a good blend. I think, you know, it sort of fits well with the dining room, doesn't it?
So the bedrooms are all on this floor, and then also there's something quite quirky upstairs as well that you could use as a bedroom or a den or whatever you wanted to do. So let's go and explore.
Okay.
I don't think Liz expected to like this property, but it definitely seems to be growing on her. To the other side of the kitchen is the main hallway where the stairs lead to a spacious loft room. On the ground floor there's a bright garden room or second living area for entertaining, along with 3 bedrooms, 2 doubles and a smaller single, as well as a family bathroom, updated 3 years ago. So come on through to the master bedroom. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Smallish, I'd say, for a master bedroom. Okay. But nicely done out, though.
And how does it feel, the thought of having a bedroom on the ground floor?
never
a
lived
little
there.
bit different, but yeah, you know. It's,
I lived in a flat once, so I suppose it's
yeah,
similar,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. It's like a bungalow raised
Just like
up a bit,
living
isn't
on
it?
it.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it can take a while sometimes as well, just for a house to sink in if you get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And I know with you two that actually the house is not the main story, is it? So it's also land.
Yeah, we'll
Yes.
have a look at that as well.
So I'm guessing you're quite keen to see what's on offer out there.
So, yeah.
Okay, come on.
Yeah.
The outside space that comes with this property is a real selling point. The house enjoys gardens to 3 sides, with a raised lawn to the front, a small orchard, and an existing stable block opening onto 3.5 acres of paddock, complete with views across the Eden Valley. Magnificent, even on a very windy day. I think this is a good spot for us to stop, and you're really slap bang in the middle of the property's land. So you, of course, have the garden behind the house.
Yeah.
You've got your stables, and you have 4 acres.
Wow.
Wow.
It's a paddock, so it's nice and flat, which would make putting yurts or tents or whatever you wanted to do on it quite easy.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks good.
I think this looks great. Yeah, yeah. This is all usable really as far as glamping is concerned. So
Yeah.
great, perfect.
I'm intrigued to know what you think this house is on the market for.
I think probably the maximum 500.
500,000, okay.
I was thinking more 480.
It's you're both wrong actually,
Yeah.
because it's under budget.
Oh.
It's on the market for £400,000.
No.
Now you're smiling.
I am surprised. I am surprised.
Yeah.
That is a surprise actually, because the
Okay.
house is beautifully done out.
Yeah, the house is beautiful. You've got the land, as
Yeah.
you say, usable land.
Yeah.
And goodness me, what a view.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a guess here and say that you wouldn't mind going back and exploring some more.
Very much so.
I
yeah.
think I
Okay.
could go back and start to imagine myself a bit more in it. Yeah.
Perfect. That's music to my ears.
Yeah.
So go on, off you go. Take your time. picture where those yurts and tents could go?
Yep.
Come and find me when you're ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
Coming in at £100,000 under budget, this quirky detached lodge house offers Dave and Liz everything they asked for, without the need for any major work. There are 3 bedrooms, as well as an additional room in the loft, and a large open-plan kitchen diner for entertaining. Outside, there's around 4 acres of level land, perfect for glamping, with wonderful views across the Eden Valley.
My reservations, I think, were probably based on bias, thinking I don't really like bungalows. But now I've been inside, I have changed my opinion.
I could see us living in this house, and at the same time, it offers the scope we need for a business. So I think that combination is just what we were looking for.
Wow, you're coming out with smiles. You went in subdued, coming out with smiles. What a great way to end the day. The incentive for Dave and Liz's move to the rugged, remote county of Northumberland is to achieve a slower pace of life and the opportunity to set up a glamping business inspired by their own camping trips and travels abroad. After staying in a yurt on a trip to Wales, it's an experience they're keen to offer to their prospective guests. So we're sending them to meet wood craftsman and yurt maker Rowan McSherry to find out if yurts could work for them.
Come this way. Yeah, this is it.
Right.
The countryside here is quite wild and rugged. What's it like staying in a yurt out here?
Great.
Yeah.
They're really easy to heat because they're such a small space and you can insulate them really well.
Why would yurts be good for us?
They're fantastic structures. They look great in a campsite. The fact that you could use them all year round, you could run winter retreats and stuff like that because of how versatile they are.
The yurt that Rowan is showing Dave and Liz has a 22-foot diameter, although they can be made in a range of sizes, starting at around 12 feet.
I'd quite like to show you the frame as well. So we'll just start by taking off the canvas. We can start at the top, take the start piece off.
Right.
Yeah, just come pull this, basically. Give it a turn.
Yurts have been used in many parts of Central Asia for thousands of years, in virtually the same form as they are today. They remain one of the most common types of habitation in Mongolia and still house around half the population of its capital city. The complex part of the structure is the roof. Each of the wooden roof poles attached to the central crown, which remains partially open for air to circulate and to allow space for a chimney.
So where do you get the wood to make the frame from here?
All the wood here is locally sourced, so the ash just comes from a wood over there, and the lattice is Douglas, and that comes from a friend of ours who has a woodland over in Hexham.
Mm-hmm. Once you've got the wood, how long does it take to make the frame?
Altogether about 3 weeks maybe. The hardest part is probably making the crown. You make them in 2 sections and then join them together and then peg them through what's called a scarf joint.
Yurts can take anywhere between 30 minutes and a few hours to set up or take down, requiring 2 or more people. Rowan and his business partner Nikki do all the woodwork and canvas sewing themselves. They currently have a steam box on the go, heating wood for a crown. After around 3 hours, it's ready to be curved around a jib to create the shape. And today they've got Dave and Liz on hand to help.
Yeah, if you want to grab that clamp, yeah.
Yeah, where do you want it here?
Yeah.
That's it done.
Right, there you go.
It's hard. Oh, that's quite hard.
Yurts cost in excess of £3,000, depending on the level and types of insulation, doors or flooring required. If cared for, Rowan says the frame should last a lifetime.
So you have to do it pretty quick before it cools down.
Yeah, that's probably all right there.
Will that go that aspect, yeah?
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Is that enough for?
Yeah, that's fine. Grand.
Right.
That's spot on. Well, there you go, you've bent your first crown.
Yeah, well done, guys. Get in.
Yeah.
With a greater understanding of how yurts are made and the possibilities they could deliver for their business, Dave and Liz are one step closer to living their glamping dream.
Thank you so much for arranging that.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I never knew how they made the round.
Yeah.
So now we know. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Very fast.
good. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah.
It's the second day of our search with Dave and Liz from Warwickshire, who, with a budget of £500,000, are house hunting in the Northumberland countryside. It's a move they hope will afford them a slower pace of life and a property with enough land to set up a glamping business. Still to come, our mystery house offers up an escape to the country first.
Oh! Well, that is a surprise.
And I head back to Hexham to learn the history of the town's 1,300-year-old abbey. And Tom, this is really stepping back in time, isn't it?
It's quite special.
When I first met Liz and Dave yesterday, their focus was really on the land that they wanted for the glamping part of their Northumberland adventure. But it's become clear that the community and the actual house itself, in particular the entertaining space, matters more to them than I think even they realised. So today we're giving them everything they want and everything they need, but we're going to test them on what they're prepared to compromise on. And when it comes to the mystery house, well, it's a case of keeping up with the neighbours. Next, we're heading back into Northumberland to the North Pennines village of Ninebanks. It's 7 miles from the characterful stone village of Allendale, which has topped a national poll twice and been voted England's Village of the Year. The local visitors centre could advise Dave on the best walking routes in the area, and if he's up for a challenge, he could join the dedicated walkers that assemble once a year to take part in Allendale's 25-mile endurance circuit around the valley. Back in Ninebanks, the house we're seeing is in a peaceful rural setting, enjoying some spectacular views. So let's just settle here.
OK.
I'm sure your eyes are going to be drawn that way,
Yes.
there, to the view. But this is the property that I want them to be drawn towards.
Wow.
It's a 150-year-old barn conversion.
Ooh. Wow. Yeah.
Quite substantial.
Quite amazed.
Yeah.
Now, one thing to tell you is that this is a semi-detached property.
Right.
There's the old farmhouse there, this was the barn.
Oh, OK.
So that means that, yes, while you are obviously, rural, you do have neighbours.
Yeah.
There's another house that's going to be built just over there. So you've got a little community around you.
Right,
Well, that's
OK.
good. I'm kind of thinking home from home. We're in a semi-detached house now, but this is, a million miles away from
Yeah.
where we are. We do quite like having neighbours.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, neighbours is good.
So you're feeling like you'd like to explore the property?
Very
Yes.
much so, yes.
I'd like to see
Yeah.
inside.
OK, let's come on, there's a lot to see. The property was converted into a home 14 years ago. And as is typical with many barn conversions, it benefits from some really large, bright rooms. What you can't see from the front of the property is the huge double-height kitchen area at the back, which I want to show them first. So come on through, straight into lovely big utility room entrance hall.
Wow.
And let's wander through here. Because, family and entertaining has become so important for the two of you. How about this for an entertaining
This
space?
is amazing.
Wow.
Wow. It's beautiful,
Goodness.
isn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm so happy to hear you say that.
You just would never have known, looking outside, that this was such a lovely big space.
Wow. Exposed bricks are great.
They've done it very beautifully, haven't they? Because
Yeah.
this kitchen doesn't look out of place with the brickwork, does it? It looks really nice.
No.
This isn't actually your only entertaining space. There is another really lovely, cosy sitting room. So I'm going to show you that. If you let me squeeze through the middle of you and just follow on, we'll go back down the stairs
Okay.
to it. So come on through to this cosy sitting room. It's got a very different feel in
It
here.
has, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
This, for me, is where you would come when it's howling a gale outside, it's cold, you would light your log burner, you'd hunker down in here on a cold winter's night. I think this could be really cosy.
Yes, it
Yes,
would, wouldn't it?
I kind of get the hunker-bunker
Yes,
feel out
yes.
of
It's
it.
a nice feel,
good,
isn't it,
yeah.
compared to the airiness of the kitchen and area up there.
So when it comes to bedrooms, well, you've got one of the 4 bedrooms just off here, just off the sitting room. You could use that as a study. Have a sofa bed in, not use it all the time. And you've also got a bathroom down here as well, which is fantastic, makes it usable. There are 3 more bedrooms upstairs. Follow me, I'll take you up to them.
Great.
Thank you. Suspended above the kitchen is a mezzanine sitting room with views over the property's land and beyond, which we'll explore later. Up on the first floor, a corridor leads to 3 bedrooms, 2 doubles, along with a smaller one. So come on into the master bedroom.
Wow. Another wow factor. It's really
Yes.
tall, isn't it?
I'm so happy to hear a lot of wows.
Well, this is very, I love the way they've done it. It's really
Yeah.
nice. Oh, an ensuite as well.
Okay, so it is an ensuite, but it's also the only bathroom up here. What you could easily do is just reinstate this wall. It wouldn't be a big
This
job.
is another door there.
Yeah,
So you could make this
absolutely.
into a bathroom. Yeah, because that would make sense with the other bedrooms.
You could do, you could.
It wasn't sort of something that we had a house with a big wow factor, but if that's possible as well, and we can do our business from here, that would be great. So yeah.
I think this will certainly be a lovely house to live in.
yeah,
So-
Okay, well, with that thought in mind, let's go outside and talk a bit more about the land and explore what the business possibilities might be.
Yeah,
Let me squeeze
okay.
through. Thanks. I think Liz and Dave were expecting to have to compromise on the house in order to get the land they wanted. But here they really could have the best of both worlds. Outside, the large stables are currently used as a workshop, but would make great holiday lets, subject to planning permission. There's a small private garden to the back of the house, and beyond that, the rest of the land extends to 2.5 acres. So in terms of the land, you've got this it's a grassed area here, and the rest of it is amazing woodland that comes with its own stream, so you've got a ready-made water supply in there.
Great. Yeah. Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
But all your plans and dreams depend on one thing, and that's how much money you have, isn't it? So it's time to guess the price.
I'm going to go $475. There's an element of wishful thinking there, but that's what I'm going to say. $475.
£475,000. Okay.
Okay, I think I'm going to go a bit higher. I think 495.
You're both wrong. It's actually on the market for £349,000.
Wow.
The wows are back.
We're
I love
rubbish.
it. The wows are back.
We're not very good at judging at all, are we?
No.
Listen, why don't you go and explore your woodland? You know, see if I can hear some wows coming from the trees.
We'll go and find the
Off you go. You get to it through the little gate up there.
Okay.
Yeah, go and explore.
Great.
Okay.
Let your imaginations run away with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
See
Come and
later.
find me when you've seen enough.
Yeah.
I am so happy that they like this property. Why? Well, all is going to be revealed in just a moment, but what I will say, without giving the game away too much, is that what's about to happen next is an escape to the country first. For a staggering £150,000 under their top budget, this semi-detached barn conversion has one more bedroom than Dave and Liz asked for and an abundance of entertaining space. It sits on a plot of approximately 2.5 acres and enjoys spectacular views of the countryside.
Well, it's certainly interesting, isn't it? Yeah. It's hard to get the feeling of the space, but there is quite a lot of space, and you could space them out quite nicely.
Well, when we first came down the past and saw the property, I was amazed because it looked a lovely barn conversion. When we came inside, it really was one of those places you want to go, wow, as soon as you walk in the door.
It felt as though we were on a road to nowhere. It's a sort of dead-end road. But when we came in and saw there were other people who lived here nearby, we took that as a positive thing. We live in a semi-detached now, so, but not in a location that's beautiful like this. So it'd be interesting. Yeah.
So is wow still the order of the day?
Very
Yeah.
much so, yes.
Jolly good, jolly good. Well, we're now off to see the mystery house, though.
Oh, wow.
Right?
I'd love to know what you think I'm going to take you to. Any ideas? Dave, any thoughts?
I'm thinking completely random now. Scotland.
We are quite random at times.
Yeah. Maybe no house at all, just land, nothing else.
Oh, okay.
Maybe pub, maybe a B&B. So something really
That's a
random.
lot of ideas.
Yeah.
Lot of ideas there. All of them excellent. All of them wrong.
Oh, right.
Because the mystery house is the house next door.
Oh! Well, that is a surprise. Okay.
So why don't we go and explore the house?
Right. Great.
We know they like the views, so we're already off to a good start. And if they thought the land next door offered potential, I can't wait for them to see the plot that comes with our mystery house. So you can see straight away it's going to have a different feel.
Yes.
Because this was the original farmhouse, that was the attached barn. They were both converted at the same time.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, it's lovely. I love the stone. I mean, it's great and it's very nice.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm still in shock, so
Yeah.
keen to have a look.
Yes.
So should we just go and explore inside? Despite a similar external appearance, the layout of this mystery house is very different to that of its L-shaped neighbour. The kitchen is also at the back of the property, but leads onto a smaller snug area with conservatory. The front entrance leads into the main living room. So straight in through the porch into this beautiful, cosy farmhouse living room.
Wow, this is a surprise too.
But it's a different feel to next door,
It
isn't
is,
it?
yes,
It really is.
yeah.
Yeah, you've got original features, you've got your beams, you've got the beautiful flag floor. Now, I'm interested to see what you think of the kitchen in this one, because I know next door's kitchen, you were really taken aback with it. And I actually think there's quite a lot on offer in here as well.
Okay.
This mystery house is obviously going to have to work hard to compete with next door, where Liz and Dave loved those high ceilings and the light on offer. OK, so into the kitchen, and again, you've got your high ceilings.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, this is lovely too.
It is, isn't it?
yes. Should really come up trumps.
And then through there's a later addition that was added on about 12 years ago. It's another sitting room with a multi-fuel stove. There's a shower room in there and a utility room, so a lot of space down here.
Wow. Yes.
What do you think about the feel in here and, just the look of it?
Yeah, I'm kind of aware of the light thing, which was a real part of the wow next door. This is slightly different, feels cosier, and I'm adjusting as I kind of warming to it.
Yes, I think if we hadn't
warms me
seen
up.
the first house with the light, we would have gone, oh, this is lovely and cosy and warm, and actually it's not got low ceilings, so it's still quite airy.
The upstairs layout is more traditional as well in this one. So let's take a look upstairs, have a wander around.
Okay.
Also on the ground floor is a boot room just off the kitchen and a large study next to the main living room. Unlike next door, all 4 of the bedrooms are upstairs in this property, with the family bathroom. So there are 2 doubles, 2 singles. This is currently used as the master bedroom.
Not a bad size. I always think if there's a wardrobe in the room, it must be reasonable size because you've got enough storage.
Yeah, you've got a huge chest of drawers,
Yeah.
good sized wardrobe.
Wardrobe, yeah.
It's fine, yeah, it's good.
The main access to the garden is through the doors leading from the snug or garden room, where there's a patio area and a large detached barn. The mystery element is that it gives them nearly 5 times more land than they asked for, providing never-ending options for their ventures. Time to climb to higher ground and survey the extent of it. So,
Yeah.
pretty little spot to
Yes.
sit and admire your 9 acres from. So there is a lot of land.
It's a
It's
lot.
a lot, yeah.
Is that too much of a lot?
It seems to go on forever from this vantage point.
Yeah,
but,
it's probably
I don't
more
know.
than we
Yeah, it's more than we
envisage or
would
need,
really.
really.
Some of it is rented to the farmer. He will happily rent land from you.
Right.
So, yes, if there's too much there, you could just decide how much you wanted, 2, 3, 4 acres.
Yeah.
The farmer will take the rest off your hands. Is that good news?
Yes,
Yes,
I think it is a little
yeah.
bit.
OK, so we've seen the house, the gardens, the land. Let's guess the price.
Okay. Well, I think because it's got a lot more land, I think I go a bit higher than next door because we do know how much that costs. So I think maybe 435.
I think I'm gonna go 390.
Right.
I'm afraid to say that you're both wrong again on this one.
We're not very
Sorry.
good at this.
But Dave, you're the least wrong.
Right.
It's on the market for £399,950.
Right.
Right.
So you do pay a premium for all the land.
Yeah. Yes. Wow. But it's still a good price for the house itself because it's lovely inside.
Do you want to go and explore more?
Yes.
Yes, we'd like
Yeah.
to, yes.
Have a look
yeah.
round.
Take your time and I'll be waiting at the front when you're ready.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, off you
Thank
go.
you.
£100,000 under budget, and Mystery Farmhouse offers a raft of spacious living areas. What sets it apart from its neighbour is the land it comes with. There's a staggering 9 acres, as well as an additional detached barn. Whether it's an ideal glamping space or too much to manage is for Dave and Liz to decide.
But I think having 9 acres was a bit scary. It's a lot, and I kind of felt like, well, we don't really need that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's somewhere where, you know, the dream of what we want to do could work, but both have a wow factor, but it's greater next door.
Well, you've seen them all.
Yes.
I think we just need to find somewhere, sit down, have a chat.
Okay.
The Abbey at Hexham has been at the heart of the community for centuries and has been drawing pilgrims from far and wide for over 1,300 years. Today, it attracts around 100,000 visitors to the town each year. Over its long and varied history, the building has seen many changes, both internally and externally. I'm meeting up with Dr. Tom Kelsey of the Abbey's conservation team to take a look inside and explore this remarkable building's history. Hi, Tom.
Hello, Jenny. Nice to see you.
Really
Hello.
nice to meet you. So, Tom, what a special place. Beautiful.
It's amazing. It's layer upon layer. It's been here for over 1,300 years. And what you see is what's left from all the generations that have gone before.
So just talk to me about the importance of the Abbey, not, I guess, just locally here in Northumberland, but also nationally.
Well, it was probably one of the finest buildings in the north, and it was built to look like a Roman basilica. Because Wilfrid, the man who started it, had gone to Rome, and he thought everything Roman was wonderful. So he came back to build one. He got the cash, so he built one here.
It's lovely just to see all this influence from the different centuries, but where do we find the original bones of this building, you know, the early days?
Well, the best place to see it is in the crypt. It's just down there. Shall we go and have a look?
I'd love to. The Abbey was founded in 674 AD, when Northumbrian Queen Etheldreda made a grant of lands to Wilfrid, Bishop of York, later known as St Wilfrid. Inspired by the religious architecture he'd seen in Rome, Wilfrid wanted to replicate what he'd seen back in his home county of Northumberland. But concerned that the craftsmen of Saxon Britain wouldn't be able to recreate the Roman style, he found the 300-year-old remains of a Roman settlement and fort just 3 miles down the road at Corbridge, and used the already quarried and shaped stone to build the crypt. As we head in, we go back some 1,300 years. Tom, this is really stepping back in time, isn't it?
It's quite special.
Very special. So Wilfrid sounds like a man of some ambition.
He was a very ambitious man. He became Archbishop of York, but he fell out with all sorts of people.
So Tom, what would this have been used for?
Well, Wilfrid brought back several relics from Rome, and this is where they'd be displayed. It was a big pilgrim site, this. And so people would come and have a look at the gold and the silver and the relics, the bones of saints, and say, this is Hexham Abbey.
The tourist attraction of its day, the relics on display in St Wilfrid's time, were just the start of the collection of artefacts which now exceed 2,500 items, including some of great national importance. One of Tom's particular favourites are the medieval panel paintings upstairs. Thought to be from the 15th century, they miraculously survived Henry VIII's dissolution of the monasteries. Wow. Tom, this wasn't what I was expecting to see. They're quite macabre, aren't they? What's it depicting?
They are. They're quite spooky. They're depicting the fact that death could come to anybody, whether he's an emperor or a cardinal or the man who ploughs a field.
What really strikes me from looking at them is, I mean, how remarkable the quality is given their age.
It's amazing they've survived so long. And we've got 80 medieval panels just as good as these. And they have survived somehow or other through all the turmoil of Henry VIII and Victorian reconstructions and so on. So it's brilliant.
It's amazing to see how many centuries these panel paintings have adorned the walls here in Hexham Abbey. And for how many more going forward, they'll continue to be enjoyed as part of this impressive landmark, one of the most remarkable in this historic border county. We've shown Liz and Dave some properties that I think could really work for them for their move here to Northumberland. One of them even had the wow factor. But are any of them a contender? Let's go find out.
found a cosy spot.
That's lovely.
So, what a couple of days it's been. Seen some very different properties. And I have a feeling that a couple may have stood out for you.
I think both of us liked the barn conversion. Immediately we walked in, there was a wow factor with the house.
That was definitely a wow. We got lots of wows from both of you. What about the other properties? Any other contenders coming forward from...
Yes, I think the lodge house that we saw, the bungalow, which I initially thought, oh no, I think it really grew on me as I went round the house inside, and it had a lovely bit of land and some great trees, great oak trees, so that was good.
OK, so there's two there. Is there a what next with either the lodge house or with the barn conversion?
I think with both of them, the planning question is something we would like to understand further. I think also with the lodge house, just understanding a little bit more about the area, where it is in relation to sort of activities that would draw people to the area. That would be important to us.
And will you be going back to look again at either the lodge house or the barn conversion?
I think we would go back and look at both of them again.
I think initially we had said that the house wasn't as important, but in fact I think through looking at these houses I've realised the house is important, and it's made me think I do really want a house where I feel at home.
Yeah, I think for me it was always important, but we kind of felt we might have to sacrifice some things to achieve our dream of a business together. But it looks like there's potential to have a wow factor house and at the same time develop a business. So that is exciting to us and something we really didn't know when we set out.
I think you two can live the dream here in Northumberland. I hope it's one of the houses that we've shown you, that you live it in, but if not, we wish you all the best. I'm sure you're going to be really happy here.
Great. Well, thank you, Ginny. It's been wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
An Englishman's home is his castle, and they say that there's more of them here in Northumberland than in any other English county. Now, we may not have found a castle for Liz and Dave to call home, but we have helped them focus on what they want from this move, because they've realised that it isn't just about land for glampers. It's the house that has to be at the heart of this search. We wish them all the luck with their move to Northumberland and hope that it happens very soon. Join me next time on Escape to the Country.
Dave and Liz returned twice to view the detached lodge house, and after further research into the local area, decided it was the perfect place to set up their business. So all they need now is a buyer for their house, and they could be putting up yurts on that 4-acre plot in the near future. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, you can apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.